we are learning design of file media. This slide is about characteristics of file media. File media's characteristics, three characteristics: activity, volatility, response speed. Activity is meaning of that all records must be processed for files ending in one time. Volatility has follow means records that are added and deleted in one processing process the entire record of the file. When high speed is required, like a real-time system, processing efficiency by processing frequency is required. Requirement of file media: safety, confidentiality protections, economics, accuracy. Safety is the establishment of countermeasures to cope with this. As files may be destroyed for some reason during program errors, careless handling, or other processing. Through management of security to prevent theft of files or easy reading and modification or deletion of files. Economics, as the cost of the effect, that should not be too high. Accurate file to obtain reliability with respect to data check. This is a file media's functions: access type, access time, processing method, amount of information, and operation reviews. Easy operations. First, access type. Access type examine what type of access is required for processing. A sequencer, index sequencer, random, list. And access time is the media you are satisfied with by considering whether you need access time: online real-time processing, random processing. Amount of information. You determine the size of a medium according to the size of the file, that is the amount of data. File media is easy to operate. It examines how too complex the actual operation is if the file is stored on multiple reels or disk packs due to the large amount of data. Large and small amount of data, many and few file types, large and small number of files, more and less frequent use, This is a review. Human operation time and related operations vary. Selection of media. The media selected for each file is selected in consideration of work, balance, or cost. And calculate the media or number of media for each file obtained as a result so far. Calculate the number of devices warned from files that should always be put on the device or files used at the same time. And this slide is about file design procedures. The first step is check the purpose of file creation. This step includes file name, file purpose, and file types, that is master file or transaction file, and application work. Next step is review of file items. Item name, item attribute, key items, item arrangement order, and record variability, record size, transport block size, amount of information is including. Next step is examination of the file characteristics. This step include processing cycle, processing method, processing time, renewal frequency and types, and average activity rate. And then review of file media. This includes processing method, processing type, amount of information, and easy of operation, determination of storage mediums. Last step is review of file organization method. Sequential file organization method is the basic method that a file that sorts and stores in an arbitrary key order for sequential processing. Some advantages frequently used for batch-oriented business processing. Easy to insert, delete, update, and copy data. In the case of periodic processing, it is fast in time and reduce processing cost. Any medium can be recording medium for sequential files. High utilization of storage space because only real data is sequentially stored, but also has some disadvantages. When a new record is inserted or deleted in a file, the entire file must be copied to a new recording medium. Deleting unnecessary records in a file also requires a copying process which wastes time and memory. And when searching for a specific record in a file, the search efficiency decreases because the search must be performed sequentially from the beginning. Next method is indexed sequential method. This method that sorts and stores records in a key value order so that sequential processing and random processing can be performed at the same time, including some advantages. It can be processed sequentially and randomly, so it can be processed flexibility depending on the purpose of file processing. Widely used due to the freedom to add or delete records within a file. When adding or deleting records, there is no need to copy the entire file like a sequential file method. Also has some disadvantages. The index or overflow area is set, which requires a lot of storage space. Waste of storage space because there is an idle space where no real data is stored. When you want to process a specific record, access time is slow because multiple steps of indexing, processing are recorded. When there are many overflowing records, there is a problem of reorganizing files during use. Index sequencing method has three file allocation area. First area is basic data area. This area that records actual records, and each record is stored in key value order. Second, an index area is where index need to locate a record are recorded. Composed of track index, cylinder index, master index. Last is overflow area. This area reserved in advance in case a new record cannot be inserted because there is no empty space in the prime areas. Cylinder overflow area, independent of overflow areas. Basic data area is used for the file is initially created. The data to be processed is recorded for each record. All newly inserted records are stored in order of key value. Basic data area save location is sequentially from the second track of the cylinder, determined by the key values. Index area is index is necessary to find the record location and recorded. This area is located to the lowest level. That is the track index area recorded in the first track of each cylinder in the next index sequence file. Kind of three index area: track index area, cylinder index area, master index area. This is a track index area, and three track index area, and this is a cylinder index area. Master index area. Master index area. Overflow area. After the index sequence file is created, the area reserved for storing excess data record in case there is no empty space in the basic data area, and it is impossible to insert new records. Random organization method. How to determine the value as a relative address by using a specific item in a record as a key. This method uses a mapping function that converts key values to address. This method has some advantages. First, records to be processed can be processed directly by address calculations. Search any record within average access time, and key address changes automatically in operating system. But time is delayed because the calculation process for key conversion is required. And as collision occurs, efficiency is lowered by securing spare memory space. Memory space efficiency varies by hashing functions. The type of mapping of a random organization method. Three types: direct addressing mapping method, directory lookup mapping method, hashing method. Direct addressing mapping is how to directly specify the physical address of a record in the address space as a key value. User decides cylinder number and record number, or sector number and record number, and saving record to a file. Since keys and address rarely match, they are rarely used except in a special case. Next mapping type is directory lookup mapping. This type is how to find the location of those records while keeping a directory of key value address pairs. To look up for the record in the random file, first search the index for the record address in the directory, and then access the record in the 3D device with the address corresponding to the key value. This type is hashing. Hashing is storing or retrieving an address in memory by calculation. Used by hashing functions. Hashing functions expresses the command to calculate the address by converting the key value in one formula. Collision is a phenomenon in which two records try to occupy the same memory space. Synonym is conflicting records. When selecting a hashing function, we are considered minimize overflow, minimization of collision, minimization of calculation processes. Last method is list organization method. This method is how to maintain the relationship by related data records physically separated. But the pointer included in the data records sequentially indicates the address where the data record is stored. This method is useful for discontinuous memory space. It is easy to add and delete records by changing the pointer value, and there is no need to copy the entire files. And all data structures can be expressed. But the structure of the file is complicated and poor processing efficiency and a large waste of memories. Record retrieval takes a long time. You have tried to summarize this week's lectures. The file design sequence, functional review item according to file media, including media access method, media processing method, access time, ease of operation, and number and frequency of file, amount of information, and process time. The types of data files include master file, transaction file, history file, trailer file, summary file, and so on. File organization and related media characteristics can be classified as follows.